Let's start with the latest breaking news just now, and that's the Savannah repost of that short clip on the Today Show emphasizing you can stay anonymous and there's a way to retrieve the reward that would keep you untraceable. Fitz, your thoughts on that?
Sure, and this is a very smart move to make. And we talked early on, Megyn, what was it, 3 weeks ago now, put some level of humanity onto Nancy Guthrie. Now the humanity part is being put on Savannah and her family. They want their mother back, and they're basically saying in any condition here's the $1 million. I know, yeah, by the way, no strings attached. You can get it without any. I'm not sure if you have to pay taxes on it or not, if the government takes something out up front, but who cares about that? But it's going to be a substantial amount, close to $1 million, perhaps in cash, and that is going to be a strong incentive. So where the early on stage was humanizing the mom, now it's humanizing us. We realize things may have gone bad in so many words they're intimating, but at least give us our mom back and let the family have closure on this. There'd be nothing worse, of course. I've interviewed parents of little kids who have gone missing and have never returned. That's probably the worst. But even having any loved one, such as a parent, that you can't somehow have closure, put them in their resting spot and have the final rites, et cetera, that has to be tough too. So it's $1 million is probably easy for them to put up, and they mean it. They mean it with all their heart. They really want their mother back. And I'm hoping someone out there, one or two people involved in this, can look at this and have some element of their heart. Just say, you know what, we can do this in a tricky sort of way. Let's just make this phone call, go pick this money up, and then go from there. And I hope that person is listening. And if there's any little bit of a heart that they have, they follow through.
Maureen, here's the clip that Savannah reposted just now. So what she thinks is the most salient part of her nearly 2-minute video she dropped the other day.
But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. We are begging you to please come forward now.
She captioned it, "Please bring her home. You can be anonymous." So if memory serves, what was omitted there from the first video that this was clipped from are discussions of the agony the family's been in and references to their understanding that she may no longer be with us. She may be with Savannah's dad, with Nancy's parents in heaven. So sort of all that humanizing stuff, like about Nancy and about the family taken out and boiling it down to bring her home. You can be anonymous. And here's $1 million.
It's haunting, really. And it worked on me. I can tell you that. I mean, I could feel her broken heart through that message. And to Fitz's point, I think it's the right thing to do right now. And if they can get him that money anonymously, good for them. They're going to have to produce Nancy some way, somehow before that. And, my advice is take the money and run. If this is who you are and this is what you did, get that money, take that money, and just good luck to you.
Can I ask you this, Savannah, in all these videos, you've sort of seen her. We talked about the fact that the one day she decided to put her makeup on, like the first couple of videos, she clearly didn't have any makeup on. Her eyes were so puffy from all the crying. This was right after Nancy was taken. And that obviously was a choice. And then I thought it was a good sign. She did one with her makeup on, like she was kind of coming back to life, putting on her armor, which makeup can be for a woman, especially a woman who's on camera every day. That's how you're used to seeing yourself. Yeah. And here too, she's got a little makeup on. Her eyes are bloodshot. I mean, clearly this woman has been doing nonstop crying. And I wonder if that kind of thing, Fitz, is coordinated with the FBI, like your look. If Savannah wanted to go full glam and put in the Visine and get rid of the red and like not be super up close to the camera. I mean, she knows full well that like this super up close shot is not the most flattering thing ever on any of us. She's doing all this, I think, for a reason. There's no way none of this is like, this is just happenstance. I believe it's all calculated. And what do you think the discussion sounds like behind the scenes on that?
Yeah, I've been in these multiple times in my profiling career, advising people how to go before a camera or put out some kind of a message in some way. I obviously didn't get into the makeup category with if it's a woman doing that, but certainly more importantly the words to choose and the overall demeanor or persona you're going to present on camera or in some kind of a public speaking situation where you're looking for someone or someone to come back into the fold for whatever reason, or someone to give themselves up if they've done a crime. So yeah, this is well coordinated, and I'm certainly assuming there are profilers, behavioralists on the scene, certainly in touch with the family. They're talking to them. They're helping them put the words together. They don't want to offend the person. They don't want to challenge the person. There's no name calling that, you're a lowlife, you're this, none of that stuff. And I'm not saying that either, but just appeal to their basic human nature. And Maureen put it well. It got to her. It got to me too. I mean, it doesn't get more sincere. Megyn, you're on camera all the time, and I do my share. And I always, I'm always meaning what I say, but I never had to put something together like Savannah just did, and so much from my heart, and sort of begging people to listen to what I'm saying. And that's a whole different part of your personality and your brain and your psychological makeup that has to come in front of a camera after you've been crying all the time, as you said, Megyn. But the bottom line is this was coordinated. They didn't give her the words to say, but I have no doubt that someone came in, hey, let's have your, lighten looks a little bit, nothing heavy duty, but just enough that you're appealing looking and you're talking. You're important. The people watching this, you're important enough. They're important enough to you that you should, look your best whilst talking to them. And that's part of the reason why she may have glammed up, using air quotes here, just a little bit for this plea to whoever has her mother.
I mean, I do think, I said this the other day, but I think it's somewhat of a sign of resilience that she managed to get any makeup on at all and her jacket on, and started to look a little closer to the professional Savannah we've seen. I just think as a woman in the exact same industry that she is, who came up with Savannah, I mean, I literally came up in the business right next to her. We were at the Supreme Court covering the High Court together. She for NBC, me for Fox News, when we were both like cub reporters. She went to NBC, I went to Fox. We covered a lot of the same stories. I wound up at NBC for, a short stint with her. I got to know her very well during that 18 months that I was there, Savannah and her husband. I had known her for all those years prior, but like we got to be personal friends. And then the relationship ended when I left NBC for all sorts of reasons. But my point is simply, I know that she's going to feel more together and defended with the makeup on. I just know it. That's just how it is in this industry. So I think it's a good sign. I do think the puffy red eyes are an intentional choice because I'm sure they were authentic and they could have been resolved had she really wanted to do that for a camera, but she probably made the choice to show people the pain she's in because of the reasons you're saying. There's no downside. It's real. It's what's real. And there's no downside to telegraphing to the public and to the perpetrator, I'm deeply wounded and you could help me, Maureen. You could help me is what she's saying.
She's also saying, you got me. You wanted to hurt me. You hurt me. You got everything you wanted. I am broken. My family is broken. Can we end this now? I'm willing to pay you my hard-earned money to end this now.
I surrender.
Yes.
You won.
Yes.
Ugh. Oh, it's stomach turning when you think about it like that. That's not because the perpetrator will watch this. You point that out all the time, Fitz. That the guy's out there watching all of this coverage, and there's no question he's watching Savannah's latest messaging, and so he's going to see it. Like it's so creepy for her to know that whatever she chooses to put out there, he will be watching and assessing and will have a new decision to make. Right now, this morning, as we speak, he has a new decision to make, Fitz.
Yeah, and this all goes back to from, again, day one, what is the motivation behind this? If it's strictly money, if this is strictly a transactional crime that was committed on the part of this one, if not two or more people, I haven't locked in on that at this point. All right, so now this is kind of a, an offer you can't refuse. I mean, you got away. You pulled an abduction very successfully. And I've said this before. You can talk about the flowers at the camera and all that kind of stuff, weird holster. They got away with this thing. They got away with this thing. If there was ever about money, which I'm not convinced that's the case, but even if it wasn't about money, you've got a golden opportunity here. And Savannah is doing her best. And her inner makeup and her outer makeup is so expressive of what she's saying right now. She's not acting. And I don't know her at all, of course, but I'd be very much surprised if there was any acting in here at all. So this person now goes back to motivation. Why was Mrs. Guthrie taken from her home at, after 2 a.m. Or around that time that Sunday morning? That we don't know. If it was about money, maybe this is a chance to then capitalize on it. If it was for some other reason, deeply personal to one or more family members, they said, nah, this hasn't gone far enough. You've done this to me, again, real or perceived. You've done this to me in the past, a week before or 2 decades before, you're going to keep paying. And if they don't react to this $1 million reward with virtually no strings attached, that would lean me towards the fact that this is a highly personal crime done for highly personal reasons, and money was never a factor.
Oh, or can it just be the person scared? Like they're like, holy shit, the 400 cops, I don't believe it's not traceable. I'm not, I got away with it and I'm not going to jail now. So nice try, but I'm piecing out.
It was high risk.
You're shaking your head.
High risk to begin with this crime. Yeah. They knew who this woman was and to whom she was related. I don't think that would scare them off now. And if they think they could pull this, they pulled it off perfectly so far, quite frankly. They've had other people try to come in and take money from them, I'm convinced. Multiple people, probably from overseas, wherever, with the whole Bitcoin thing, TMZ, all that. So it's like, all right, well, now this is my turn. I made my cause. I sent my message. Maybe now I'll take the money. But again, if the money isn't the issue here, then perhaps this is for a whole reason that's highly personal. I used the word revenge early on to describe this side of the abduction as opposed to for profit on the other side. And that is so deeply entrenched in this person. Look at the Brown shooter. Went back 30 years to Portugal, and is angered with this then fellow student. And he goes up to, MIT outside of Boston and kills him there after, of course, shooting up the university itself. So these types of issues, can go back that far. It may be something more closely connected to more recent times, but this is the proverbial fork in the road for this person.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced financial strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold so you too can have peace of mind, regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.